his fiancée, Dr. Aisha Wiyinzika, a brand new Range Rover Vogue and a host of other gifts. Dr. Aisha Wiyinzika works with the Private Sector Foundation. Notable among ministers who attended included Katumba Wamala for Works, Norbert Mao for Justice and Constitutional Affairs, Jesse Muyingo for Higher Education.
Well, congratulations to Mr. Kasolo. Moving on from that, the Minister of State for Sports and Member of Parliament for Ngariam County, Peter Ogwang, has fundraised millions of shillings to support women in his constituency. The Member of Parliament contributed funds meant to buy himself a car as Member of Parliament to the women's savings groups. The Speaker of Parliament, Anita Among, graced the fundraising and contributed over 120 million Ugandan shillings, and she called for more financial literacy among women in the area to transform their livelihoods. Take a look.
Members of Parliament have rallied behind Ngariam County Legislator Peter Ogwang to fundraise for the support towards women village saving groups in the area.
I have given 200 million shillings into that account. His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni gave us 50 million shillings to that account.
At least 257 villages in Ngariam County will benefit from the fundraising, on top of the ongoing program for the parish development model.
I am sure by the time we divide this money, we might be able to raise almost 2 million per village. And you know, this 2 million is a grant which is going to these villages.
The MPs and ministers were led by the Speaker of Parliament, Anita Among, who contributed 120 million shillings.
Our role is very simple. Our role is very simple. We are not going to go to Parliament to do legislation alone. We are supposed to identify the needs of our women on the ground, the children and the youth.
Speaker Among called for financial literacy for residents and advised that the fund should be revolving.
And when we give you this money, today we are testing you. When we come back and give you money.
I am going to go to every village to educate them and sensitize them on how they should maintain savings and on how also they should, number one, look at promoting food security and household income. It's very, very core for this our people here.
Minister for Health Dr. Ruth Acheng, who contributed 10 million shillings, commended residents in Katakwi for the efforts against COVID-19 and Ebola.
But also, I want to remind my brother, you know he's my brother, Honorable Guang, that after the women, which includes the young girls and the older women, we need to come back for the youth, the boys.
The Vice Chairperson NRM Eastern Region, Mike Mukula, delivered the President's message and contributed 10 million shillings.
Remain working together as Salatiso my Nebbi, be together, Ajasa Duku Nebbi, be united as Salatibu Makina, because the national resistance movement Nara Apugana Nabona NRM has brought total peace to the country. Nobody again, I want to put it on record, nobody will destabilize this.
The Prime Minister of Uganda, Robin Anabanja, Parliament and Deputy Speaker Evelyn Anite, Hamson Obua, NRM team Bukedia, Okanya Jackie contributed generously. Ivan Kahwa and Joseph Oko in Katakwi district.
At least 4 opposition local council chairpersons in Katakwi district have crossed to the National Resistance Movement Party. The defectors, who are mainly from the Forum for Democratic Change party ticket, they say that they've made the decision after failing to work in isolation. Take a look.
The Forum for Democratic Change party is continuing to shrink at the local council level in Katakwi district as some of the party leaders continue to defect to National Resistance Movement Party. Just this weekend, 4 sub-county chairpersons belonging to the Forum for Democratic Change party crossed to National Resistance Movement Party.
I have been an FDC. And a majority of our people are NRM. So you'll find it very difficult even to associate with others. So I think having decided to work alongside others, we'll be able to jointly serve our people.
I've also decided to cross because what the NRM is doing is something which is real. And I'm going to move with them as one because I'm going to help them on even mobilizing on what they are doing.
And I serve as LOC3, where the vice president comes from. She's an NRM, so it will look again bad for me to be separate from the party.
But Forum for Democratic Change claims not to be shaken by the decision made by the chairpersons, describing them as political opportunists who are seeking for survival.
This is just a joke in Katakwi. I think people want to find something for today. In Buganda, they call it a mereya lero. They want some, because they know the Right Honorable Speaker is here today, the Minister is here, the whole Parliament is almost here. So they feel like, let me announce in this congregation. But that doesn't mean Ngariam doesn't have supporters. That doesn't mean the sub-counties that they represent. I think I had someone from Ongongoja. We have supporters.
This was at a fundraising drive to support vulnerable women savings group in Ngariam County, organized by the Minister of State for Sports, Peter Ogwang. Over 1 billion shillings was raised in cash and pledges at the function that also attracted the Speaker of Parliament, among Anita, who contributed 120 million shillings.
Our role is very simple. We are not going to go to Parliament to do legislation alone. We are supposed to identify the needs of our women on ground, the children and the youth. And in identifying, we are trying to eradicate poverty from this region.
In attendance included the members of Parliament from across the political divide.
I have also fined myself for coming late 2 million shillings.
I can assure you, the program that I am doing in Ngora, the village associations support, is performing better than the parish development, because I think the bureaucracy came into parish development model. In Ngora, the money was embezzled, and now it is alleged that the officers who embezzled the money have refunded. But we are not seeing the money.
Over 250 women saving groups from Ngariam County in Katakwi district are to directly benefit from the cash for poverty alleviation. Joseph Oko, UBC.
Residents in Kazo district have saluted Uganda People's Defense Forces medical team for the ongoing medical camps in Kazo district. UPDF medical doctors in Kazo are part of the medics in Greater Mbara carrying out medical outreach in commemoration of the 42nd Tarehe Sita anniversary and Army Week.
Uganda People's Defense Forces medics are conducting free medical outreach services at Kazo Health Center 4 and in the other sub-counties in the district. Medical outreach activities are part of the Defense Army Week to mark the 42nd Tarehe Sita celebrations. Kazo residents expressed their gratitude to UPDF medics for their services, professionalism and discipline.
Konka kurengo nubatueta nubatubuza natubuze ndwari kiturwiri ntugamba nawe nubaturagurra ntura twinu kusima munonga nsima government egi munonga munonga
nani nshasheri ino bajya mu ngaruko rwa kashatu kandi ninza kwiza mbwenu nebyo mukama bahumugisha.
Is offer free medical and surgical services to the wananchi, to our civilian population. We don't charge any fee. Someone comes in, gets medical services, gets surgical care without paying any coin.
Lieutenant Colonel Dr. Lopez Mkuye, who headed the UPDF medics, said they are offering free medical checkups, general medicine, eye care, dental, among others.
Medical, here we shall be treating those common ailments such as malaria, respiratory tract infections, urological conditions, ENT. We shall also cover dental, eye, ear conditions. Surgery, we shall do appendectomies, laparotomies, herniorrhaphies. We shall repair cleft lip and palate. We also have a mobile team for HIV, AIDS, and they will be doing a lot of counseling and testing services.
Mokuye urged residents to come in big numbers and get free medical services at the designated UPDF medical camps.
We shall be distributing insecticide-treated mosquito nets as well as mama cheats, and also other items such as mattresses, delivery beds.
After the regional Taresita launch, UPDF will conduct various military cooperation activities intended to recognize the son of the soil who contributed to the success of the Fronasa NRA war. Haruna Mtesasira, reporting for ABC News in Kazo District.
Thank you so much, Harun, from Kazo District. In more stories, the acting force commander of the African Union Transition Mission in Somalia, Brigadier General Peter Omola, has alerted troop contributing member counties to familiarize themselves with the concept of operations and the Somali transition plan. Brigadier General Omola, who is also the commander of the Ugandan contingent in Somalia, advised the force under him to respect the cultural diversity of the community seeking for peace.
15 newly deployed military staff officers for the African Union Transition Mission in Somalia have concluded a week-long induction on the range of mission standard operating procedures. The acting Artemis Force Commander, Brigadier General Peter Omola, briefed the officers on the status of the transition process and urged them to diligently implement the mission's mandate.
Artemis is a multidimensional, multinational, and multicultural mission. It is critical that you observe diplomacy in your interactions and accord full respect for diversity. I also implore you to respect the Somali national culture.
The mandatory induction is designed to educate the officers on the mission's code of conduct and operational environment, and among others, which stakeholder believes has given them a better perspective of mission's mandate.
That is, it has placed you in a better perspective of Artemis mandate and also help you to appreciate the concept of operation in relation to timelines for the final drawdown of Artemis by 31st December 2024.
Nebbi District Local Government has launched construction of 2 seed secondary schools in its 2 sub-counties worth 6 billion Ugandan shillings from the central government of Uganda. Mamba and Hu seed secondary schools are the only government secondary schools in the 2 respective sub-counties of Kwichini and Du in Nebbi District. Details follow.
Lack of government secondary schools in Kwichini and in the sub-counties has had a negative impact on the education of children in the 2 sub-counties of Nebbi District. Frederick Masendi from Okebo Village, Deu sub-county, who is now a teacher, is a living testimony to challenges people in the sub-county have been facing due to lack of a secondary school in the area. He said many of his colleagues in the area dropped out of school due to long distances and poverty that limits majority parents in the area to afford boarding schools for their children in distant places.
I studied in Erusi Secondary School, which is far away from here, like 6 kilometers away from here. But many of my brothers who could not afford that boarding fee, they were moving from here to Erusi. And even many of us did not go to school because very many schools were far away. The parents cannot afford. So we are also aware that much as school fees will be there in the school, but it will not be the school fees that is overcharged like in other schools.
In the case of Mamba Secondary School, which has been in existence, the deputy head teacher of the school pointed out limited classrooms to accommodate over 300 students as the main challenge that the new project will address.
Even if we are to enroll many, where do we put them? We have only 4 classrooms. When the government come in to construct for us these facilities, we believe most learners will be attracted.
The 2 projects worth 6 billion shillings from the government of Uganda, expected to be complete by June next year, have been contracted to Rema Engineering Company. During handover of the project sites on Friday, Nebbi district officials warned the contractor about short work of these World Bank funded projects.
For engineers, you do it wrong, it remains as a monument for life. So Rema, you do a wrong thing, it will remain here for the next 50 plus years and will be working towards burying your business.
I want to thank government of Uganda under the wise leadership of Yoweri Kaguta Museveni for coming up with a very nice initiative that every sub-county must have secondary school. All this is done so that poor children of the poor can have access to education.
That's why we are thanking the President and the leadership for considering sending us here 6 billion. So as Office of the President, we shall be monitoring.
Director of Rema Engineering Company, Ronald Debo, assured the district of quality work to be delivered within the stipulated time frame.
So we are here to make sure we are building these schools to last for over 60 years.
As far as the terrain is concerned, we are going to do 2 things. One is do some of the activities off-site, and then make sure that what we bring to site is already for installation. And then number 2, we'll also ensure we utilize the non-rainy seasons.
The 2 schools will have components of 3 classroom blocks, science laboratories, administrative blocks, teachers' house, multipurpose halls, ICT laboratory blocks, sports fields, and sanitation facilities. Joseph Odama, UBC News, in Nebbi.
The State Minister of Local Government, Victoria Rusoke, has intervened in the legalization of same-sex marriage, allegedly passed by Kasese Municipal Council. Rusoke says single-sex marriage is not allowed by the laws of Uganda and called upon parents to instill in their children good morals, prioritizing religion. The minister was in a meeting with Kasese Municipal Council leaders in Kasese district. We have details on this story.
Of homosexuality, ladies and gentlemen, is nothing to smile at here in Uganda. First of all, the country, our country, doesn't tolerate homosexuality. Our country hinges on its motto, for God and the country. Even in the Bible, homosexuality is not permitted. Even in our laws, I have come with my senior legal officer, who's going to introduce them and give us a nice break.
Article 31 of the Constitution of Uganda provides for the rights of the family, and sub-Article 2A states that marriage between persons of the same sex is prohibited.
Be on alert. There is never smoke without fire. There could be something burning underneath, not by councillors, but please let us try to note the NGOs operating in our areas.
In a meeting with Kasese Municipal Council leaders, State Minister of Local Government declared the bylaw that was in the offing null and void.
That one shall be null and void, which means there is no any other law that should be made by you and me or all of us to contravene the principal laws in the Constitution. So basing on that, here and now, I declare the bylaw which was in the offing null and void and should be destroyed from today.
An area councillor, Aida Shangusha, condemned what had happened in Kasese and asked the minister to continue with the gospel against same-sex marriage in secondary schools.
Our children are coming back reporting similar situations in their schools. Therefore, as we address this issue in Kasese, let it be a national problem which should be addressed by the national.
The State Minister for ICT and National Guidance, Kabyanga Godfrey, confirmed that there were so many presented to the council and apologized on behalf of the people of Kasese.
So it is true that a motion was presented to council introducing a bylaw. And it is also true in that bylaw, homosexuals and transgender were mentioned. That's why they were interpreted.
The head teacher, Kurohe High School, Joseph Nzukwa, condemned the act of council members, advising them to accept responsibility on what they had passed.
And when I listened to the Honorable Speaker of Council trying to explain, it was more of defensive than accepting responsibility of what was out in the public. And he was more trying to talk that he's going to engage the Speaker of the Honorable Parliament of Uganda against this and even take him by law.
Kasese Municipality Town Clerk Kairi Zedekia Kamasu also apologized to the country for the discomfort. This, however, left Kasese Municipal Council Speaker in tears, attributing the matter to mafia politics.
It is shame. We have caused shame to our district in the target of an individual. It is shameful. Let us desist from mafia politics. Hate speeches have never been any good. Hate speeches have never developed any country. But I'm happy at the same time. I am sure I'm going to be more bold after this thing. All the hate, all the social media distraction, all the mafia politics against me are going to make me even better and harder.
However, the councillors said they rejected the idea when approached by an NGO that was asking them to pass the law seeking to extend services to homosexuals. This follows the Deputy Speaker's plea to the Committee of Education and Sports to urgently investigate on the alleged escalating homosexuality, especially in schools. Sudat Kaye, UBC News.
Thank you so much, Sudat, for the update. Moving on in more stories, the Office of the Prime Minister has procured brand new motorcycles and offered skills to extension workers in an effort to improve production in northern Uganda. The motorcycles have been allocated and distributed to selected extension workers at the function organized at Makerere University College of Agriculture and Environmental Sciences, Kabanyuro in Wakiso District. Take a look.
Part of 546 district agriculture extension workers from 29 selected districts in northern Uganda have completed training at Makerere University College of Agriculture and Environmental Sciences, Kabanyolo, in Wakiso District. The short-term training is meant to improve extension service delivery to farmers in northern Uganda.
Our main objective was to consolidate stability in northern Uganda, eradicate poverty and undernutrition, and strengthen the foundation for sustainable and inclusive socio-economic development.
Our responsibility as a ministry, as local governments, to provide guidance to farmers and other value chain actors, to concentrate on those commodities in those different agroecological zones.
The training is under Development Initiative for Northern Uganda Program DINO, supported by the European Union and supervised by the Office of the Prime Minister.
Improve planning and budgeting, better sector management and service delivery, increase accountability are some of the areas supported under the program.
Participants from 18 districts were given motorcycles, certificates, printers, laptops, cameras, among others, to enable them to implement their assignments.
This is a complete set to facilitate extension service, and I want to call upon the cows to ensure that these facilities are used effectively.
The State Minister for Northern Uganda, Gweskuchinyi, officiated the function, said that training was designed to contribute to the large goal to improve livelihoods of farming communities in Northern Uganda.
We have planned exactly the commodities you have seen under parish development model. When you pick those commodities, you can do them in land less than 4 acres. So you can use the 4-acre model. So this is the time now to graduate from subsistence into some meaningful agriculture. And our commercial agriculture is divided into 2, extensive and intensive.
Kuchini urged the trainees to use participatory and hands-on approach services to farmers. In attendance were officials from the Ministry of Agriculture, European Union delegation to Uganda, OPM staff, and Makerere University. Haruna Mutesasira, UBC News.
Following the release of last year's PLE results by Uganda National Examination Board, parents and guardians in Wakiso District have a reason to smile as investors in education from Sweden, in partnership with UN, pledging support of paying school fees for the learners. According to Anders Andersson from Sweden, says that this program will begin with over 500 pupils in Wakiso as the pilot district at Kide Primary School, and later it will be expanded to other districts across the country.
Parents and guardians in the Wakiso district have a reason to smile as investors in education from Sweden through the UN are pledging to support parents with school fees for their children. An education investor from Sweden, Anders Andersson, says over 500 children in Chide Primary School in Wakiso district will be the first beneficiaries.
Step by step. But the goal is to finance every student's school fee. That's the goal. Then we have other projects as well. We will implement a water project as the first one in Uganda at this school.
He was addressing parents of Chide Primary School in Kasangat and encouraged them to embrace education because it is very vital and key to economic and social development. An educationist in Wakiso District, Chizase Ninde, and the area Kasangat District Councillor, Nsodo Catherine, commended the Swedish investors for their support to government of Uganda by improving education sector.
Work out with him, we have many of our children, they have failed to get school fees. After failing to get school fees, I took trouble to talk to him. How best can he help our parents, like other small organizations who are helping us?
Limit in time, feeding could also be a problem, or even buying requirements and uniforms as well. So if they come in to help us, then that's a very good advantage, and it will be of great help to us.
Relatedly, proprietors of schools in Kasese district have held Ministry of Education's directive on non-school fees increment as schools prepare to begin their first term.
Crisis of the country, we all see the economy, so we need at least to be a bit patient so that things go normalizing and then we come back to normal. So I don't, first of all, accept with the increasing of the fees as per now. Let's a little bit be patient so things will normalize. That's what we think.
The proprietor of Ellen White Bright Future in Semuto, Kasese district, William Mobanda, commended the government for the conducive environment for investors in education. This was during a Thanksgiving event for the school's performance in the just released PLE results 2022, where the school was among the best in Kasese district.
In more news, Pentecostal churches of northern Uganda are concerned by the manner in which church leaders are abusing the Bible to serve their selfish interests. They say many verses have been misinterpreted to contain Christians in church and gather wealth contrary to the mission of Christ. Now, the concern emerged during a theological symposium in Lira to assess the impact of theological training in social development of a society.
Reports indicate that Lamu sub-region has over 4,000 churches across the 9 districts, a situation blamed for a rise in many untrained pastors.
The church is becoming powerless and ineffective unless something is done, and something must be done urgently, which is training and equipping leaders.
In fact, a lot of the churches now, to contain the people that they have brought in, what they are now doing is they're using regulations. Don't do this or we will put you under discipline. Don't do this, don't go and don't greet them.
With the many heresy teachings to contain Christians and continue holding power, some churches have been involved in serious power conflicts.
That is why we are saying, when you train a leader is trained theologically, he knows what the Bible says and he practices it, then it is his mandate to go and train his congregation so that the congregation are made to know what they are, what they are supposed to do, how they should behave. That is important. But when a leader is not trained and he doesn't have that knowledge and skill and he has not trained his people, we end up in such a situation.
Our policies and constitution, our registration, I think this is where the government could help a little bit to regulate. But they should go slow, because at the moment there's a lot of problem. If they just come up, almost all churches will fall out, especially the Pentecostals.
Reports indicate that less than 10% of church leaders in the region have undergone theological training. Leaders say this is the major cause of the current gross abuse on the Holy Book.
That's why people are acting like mad people now. There's no more demon in them, they are no longer mad, but because we've not shown them the way, that's why they're acting the way they are.
And it also deals with that culture where people don't see the value of Bible school because they have been going without it. But a serious need, especially in this contemporary world. The church has no future without Bible training.
Most of people in rural areas, they want to get this kind of training, but where do they get it from? That's the question. Now, to answer that question, we have come as a ministry to build up a training center where you can come and learn.
Jacob Tolit, the project coordinator Favor of God Ministry, says the church should take interest in rebuilding the broken families to mitigate the influx of street kids in most cities.
Train them on the basic of the Bible. We train them on the issues of forgiveness, heal them in their trauma.
Besides theological training, the church ministers want government to rein on some errant churches. Ediolwa, UBC News.
It's super fast internet. Oh, it's a super camera. It's a super battery.
Phone battery full.
Yeah, it's a super deal. Get the Kabode Super from MTN now at a reduced initial deposit of only 49,000 shillings and pay the balance in Pola for as low as 833 shillings per day. Grab this Super Kabode deal this Christmas and get 2 GB of free MTN data every month for 8 months. Get the Kabode Super now from any MTN shop countrywide. Everywhere you go, MTN. Regulated by UCC.
Happiness comes to us in many places. It's in knowing the mosquito net keeps our children healthy. The wife having the support of her husband. It's in deciding together when to have a baby. And for some, focusing on what's important right now. So what's your happiness? Make the right health decisions to ensure happiness for you and your family.
Okay, so these receipts, okay, plus this one equals
Keeping up with your transaction history the old way.
1,000. Okay, I got this. I don't. Okay, maybe if I can just.
Keeping up with your transaction history with the My Airtel app. You have the power in your pocket. The power to keep an eye on your transaction history. Unlock that power with the My Airtel app. Visit the App Store or Google Play now.
It's true what people say, that when I wash and you wash your hands with soap, we'll have less infections as Ugandans. After all, it's hands that handle money. It's hands that feed us. Hands that prepare soil for farming. Hands that we use to learn. And hands that we use for fun.
When I wash and you wash, it means clean hands for all. So, wash your hands with soap and clean water regularly to keep away infections and disease-causing germs. This message is from the National Hand Washing Secretariat with support from UNICEF.
Are you tired of high fees and slow transfer time when sending money? Look no further. Airtel Money is here to revolutionize the way you move your money. We have revised our rates, and now sending money from Airtel to other networks in Uganda, East Africa, and to the rest of the world has never been more affordable. Plus, you can trust Airtel Money to get your money where it needs to go quickly and safely. Simply dial *185# and start sending money. Switch to Airtel Money today and experience unbeatable rates and top-notch services for all your local and international money transfer needs. Airtel Money. Instant, secure, borderless.
Welcome back from that short commercial break as we continue with our business stories. Kampala and Chikubo community registers low turn up for back-to-school shopping as parents complain about the high scholastic material prices. Now, traders attributed this to increased taxes and the impact of COVID-19 that hit the economy, leaving many struggling. Take a look.
The 2023 academic year calendar is a few days away, but purchase of scholastic materials is yet to be felt by traders, as is usually the case. It is always a common practice for parents to utilize this time to shop for the learners, but the turn-up is yet to reflect the situation. A visit to Kampala Central Business District can only register a low customer turn-up for the back-to-school shopping. Chikubo Business Center is famous for retail and wholesale selling, with the traders dashing there for shopping, but now they seem to be still low-paced. Even when the usual movement of people is visible, most of them seem to be merely window shopping. Among the few buyers cite high prices for scholastic materials.
Mpenga tolu kimu kya beo kuva ku mmere but sente ziliwa tetuzirabako okitegeera buli kimu kiri expensive okuva ku kalamu ewandiika nagoge nnyini gapaaluse bbeeyi.
Traders attributed the low customer turn-up to increased taxes and the impact of COVID-19 that hit the economy, leaving many struggling.
Abantu bangi bajja ne bagula ebintu n'ebintu bya bbeeyi. Bintu bya bbeeyi abantu bamanyi obana abisobola, amasomero gayongezza, bintu bitambula.
Asuubuzi emisolo gitunyigiriza nnyo mu ngeri etya. Feke nnyini tusobeddwa bw'otunuulira omusolo gw'owa bakubuulira omusolo nga n'ogumanya togumanyi.
The chairperson LC Wanu Chikubo Bashir Mwonge says high prices are brought about by a few individuals who charge exorbitant taxes onto traders.
Tuyinawo bannaffe abagunjawo company gye baatuuma Chikubo Business Community Limited Company. Company eyo yatondawo emisolo ejanyigiriza abasuubuzi abaali basinga ennyo okujjula wano ne badduka wano.
Meanwhile, jubilations continue among successful candidates, parents and teachers upon emerging victorious in the just released PLE results. This was the mood at Kisimu Parents Nursery and Primary School in Naweru Division, as parents and teachers cheered last year's candidates. Candidates who are rewarded with a goat for roasting attributed their success to a number of factors.
7 aggregates. I love the way my teachers worked. They were so hardworking.
Thank God for enabling me to pass my examinations. With that, to this success. Many have failed. Many have failed P7. They have got pregnant, but us, we are very well.
Is because of the dedication of both the teaching staff, the parents, and the pupils at large.
The head teacher at Kisimu Parents Nursery and Primary School, Stephen Chris Mugabi, attributes the success that saw them attain 11 first grades, with the rest in Division 2, to cooperation with parents.
I want to thank the children, I want to thank the teachers, I want also to thank the parents who were paying in time. I want to thank God because really it was awesome.
I'm Ivan Juko for UBC.
Get the most affordable 4G smartphone in Uganda from Airtel. Now heavily discounted from 250,000 shillings to 150,000 shillings only. Yes, 150,000 shillings only to keep you connected to your loved ones.
Dial *175*94# to activate free 1 GB instantly and 100% double data on all weekly and monthly bundles for 3 months. Get one today while stock lasts from the nearest Airtel shop. With Airtel, the smartphone network.
Leaders who care create a good learning environment.
Because a good school equals a better life.
Raising voices.
Are you tired of high fees and slow transfer time when sending money? Look no further. Airtel Money is here to revolutionize the way you move your money. We have revised our rates, and now sending money from Airtel to other networks in Uganda, East Africa, and to the rest of the world has never been more affordable. Plus, you can trust Airtel Money to get your money where it needs to go quickly and safely. Simply dial *185# and start sending money. Switch to Airtel Money today and experience unbeatable rates and top-notch services for all your local and international money transfer needs. Airtel Money, instant, secure, borderless.
Thank you so much for still keeping it on UBC TV. And as we continue with our news, in international stories, Donald Trump's announcement that he's running for US president in 2024 wasn't a luck or a ploy to avoid prosecution, as some have speculated. He's hitting the road and laying the kind of groundwork necessary for a serious bid to recapture the White House. Nearly 3 months after announcing his campaign, the former president made his first campaign foray out of his adopted home state of Florida on Saturday. In New Hampshire, he addressed a meeting of the Republican Party and announced the outgoing state party chair would be a senior advisor to his campaign. And at the state capitol in Columbia, South Carolina, he received the endorsement of the state's governor, Henry McMaster, and Senator Lindsey Graham. The latter, a Trump confidante who expressed some disillusionment after the Capitol riot on the 6th of January 2021, is now back firmly in the fold. Mr. Trump once again denied his 2020 defeat and told supporters that he, unlike any possible Republican alternatives, would be the most effective nominee in 2024. In both stops, Mr. Trump touted what he said was his record of success during his presidency and attacked President Joe Biden's record on crime, immigration, and the economy.
Without Donald Trump, I was there. Mr. Trump once again denied his 2020 defeat.
It's super fast internet. Oh, it's a super camera. It's a super battery.
Phone battery full.
Yeah, it's a super deal. Get the Kapote Super from MTN now at a reduced initial deposit of only 49,000 shillings and pay the balance in Pola for as low as 833 shillings per day. Grab this Super Kapote deal this Christmas and get 2 GB of free MTN data every month for 8 months. Get the Kapote Super now from any MTN shop countrywide. Everywhere you go, MTN. Regulated by UCC.
In our sports stories, pursuit swimming, which was formerly known as Uganda Swim League, has entered match day 2 with team in an early search of points. The latest match day, like others, was at the British school Kampala pool. Take a look.
With the new innovations like a monthly salary to some of the swimmers, Pursuit Swimming, formerly known as Uganda Swim League, has continued to be the go-to place when in need of marvelous swimming prowess. This has been witnessed during the second match day at British School Kampala as swimmers contested backstroke. Now in its third year, this initiative became the first ever swimming competition in Uganda to reward cash prizes to swimmers and has continually been embraced, with the number now at 60. Its growth in numbers is proportional to the quality and increase in teams, from 2 in the first edition, 3 last season, and now up to 5.
Well, I just simply followed what my coach told me. Underwater, stretch your stroke, kick very fast, and I consistently came for training every single time, which helped me improve my swimming. So that's how it's been a good day for me, and I'm happy I supported my team a lot today.
I swim for Altona Swim Club, and I'm in Team Colts. I'm the team captain of Colts. My expectations today were to remove Towns from the first position, but we managed a bit.
The teams this season are Talons, Colts, Astros, and new entrants, Flames and Jets. After just 2 match days of the scheduled 40, 2-time winners Talons are atop the standings with 9 points. Colts and Flames joined second with 7, Jets on 4, while Astros is bottom with 3. Action resumes next Friday. John Barnes, Sentamo, UBC News.
Now, a number of people this Sunday morning participated in an Ankole cattle marathon that was flagged off at Kololo Ceremonial Grounds in Kampala. The event is meant to promote longhorn cattle and creating awareness of how Ugandans can benefit from the Ankole cow through tourism, among others.
In a bid to promote and add value to the cattle industry, stakeholders from Western Uganda have come up with efforts to enhance the indigenous livestock industry through an Ankole cattle marathon. The executive director of NEFA Agrotech, a non-government agriculture agency, Kawatereni Robert, says that they have come up with a massive campaign aimed at recognizing the value of cattle across Uganda, especially the indigenous Ankole longhorn cattle.
This function is going to continue. From here we are going to have other to have it in other regions, like in Mbarara. October we are going to have it in Mbarara. So it's going to be regional. It's not going to stop from here. I want to give you this courage that join us. Let us promote our our Ankole cattle. This is our product. It is a unique product that we have here in our country. So I want to encourage everyone to join us.
Ankole ebeerawo ekuumwa ng'endala bwe zikuumwa kuba ente enzungu zirabirwa bulungi bazikolera paddocks bazikolera ebirala ne ziba n'omugaso amata gaazo ne gavaayo. Ente ezo zaakola omulimu munene mu myaka gy'edda nga bwe mmaze okubabuulira wali. Myaka egy'omu maaso zaakuumanga abantu kuba tebaabanga na mmere tebaabanga na birala banywanga amata gaazo ne babeerawo nga basenguka.
Miss Tourism Dennis Ayebale explains that promoting tourism could be boosted with the addition of long-horned Ankole cattle.
The Ankole cow is gifted with very many products such as the milk, the ghee, amachitagente, eshabwe, and many other products that are gotten out of that cow. So it's upon us. The Ankole Marathon is about bringing awareness to how much we can benefit from our products as a country and how much we can go ahead to promote the domestic tourism industry to make sure Uganda thrives as a country on tourism.
If like intention tuzirijeho effort yona tujite ahante y'Ankole for the benefits.
The only way we can develop our country is through loving and loving what we have as people and like.
And nishabangu tuonzele love ya yente zeitu z'Ankole na products zazo ninunju mnonga.
Moving on from that, the Uganda Badminton Association has relaunched the Badminton National League after more than 10 years after the last edition. The revamped version of the league has attracted about 50 players in 3 categories and will help in growing the game of badminton in the country. The league commenced yesterday on the 28th of January 2023 at the Lugogo Indoor Stadium. Take a look.
After a long hiatus, the Uganda Badminton Association has relaunched the Badminton National League. The fresh and revamped league will aim at giving all-level players ample playing time to better their skill and help them prepare for competitive tournaments.
The objective of this is, because of the 3 categories, we're looking at development. So we're looking at the players that will be coming from the schools to get into the elite stage. And then for corporate, it's basically the support that we get financially from these groups and also the continuity of the people that used to play the sport, not to lose them. So we're going to see a lot of former athletes that had retired, that had left badminton, but now we're trying to push them, to bring them back to be part of the sport. Then the other objective is the continuous play of badminton throughout the year. So we are hoping that we give these people an opportunity to be playing, such that it will also help us in terms of development of the sport.
The league will have 3 playing categories, which are the National Super League featuring the elite players, the National Corporate League for companies, and the schools category for students. The games will be played in 2 rounds and will happen bi-weekly on a round-robin format for singles, doubles, and mixed plays.
Every team will have a chance to play each other for in the first round and in the second round, and then we shall eventually crown the winner. Definitely it's going to be guided by the rules of the international body, which is Badminton World Federation. And the format, everything we're doing is guided by that.
The good thing that the league has started, and of course what we are looking at is to have the ties. For us we call them ties. We don't look at men's single, women's single, men's double, whatever it is. It is a tie, which can be, as you can see, State House against Kampala Club or State House against the CFK. It's a tie. So the winner of a tie will be getting the points. As you can see in football, that the winner gets 3 points, and when you draw, you get 1-1. So it is similar like that. So it is a tie, and when you win a tie, we shall be awarding points to you.
Bogo Warriors, Indeja University, CFK, Victoria University, Kampala Badminton Club, and the Entebbe Institute Club are among the many clubs going to be in this league. Players in Mbau Kenneth, Hasna Kobgabe, Asimwe Rita are some of the names to look out for.
We came to just have experience since this is our first time. We hope to give the other teams the competition they deserve and gain more experience from it and gain teamwork and go back and improve on our mistakes if in case we need to improve.
I think the games have been, we've lacked competition in the past years. We had no league, we had no local tournaments. So this league is going to help we as the top players to play each other, compete against each other, and then it will help us it will help the federation to discover other people who are in other clubs.
The league commenced on the 28th of January 2023 and will go on for 8 months. Winners in the different categories will get prizes from the league sponsors. All games will be played at the Lugogo Indoor Stadium. Grace Joyce Kyomugisha, UBC News.
Well, thank you so much for watching UBC News tonight at 8 p.m. Do join us again at 10 p.m. for more news coming your way. My name is Sharon Kyomugisha. Have a lovely night, but you can as well stay tuned for more programming coming your way. Bye-bye.